This has Come to Daddy, the podcast about parents for people who love processing other people's trauma but won't touch their own. I don't want to say I've got daddy issues, but on a Sunday roast, I once ended up sucking on a chicken bone so hard I broke my tooth. What is this? I haven't even had a coffee yet, and that's the thing that comes out of my mouth. What are you wearing?
This is. I found it in a charity shop, which I have to say I think is lovely. But a friend of mine, Tim Fairclough, if you're listening, said that this was like Larry Grayson's rugby top.
Oh yes, very good, very good.
Which I thought I take as, almost the biggest compliment I've ever received.
Not often you see a rugby top with Chanel buttons.
No, but if Larry Grayson had one, if Larry Grayson did rugby tops, this is what he would.
I think Larry Grayson mainly did rugby bottoms.
And also, most people listening to this won't know who. But please Google him. It's worth it.
Google. He'd love to feel something. He's shut that door, isn't he?
Yeah, oh, absolutely he is.
Shut
and look
that
at
door.
Look at the muck in here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the muck in here.
Very good.
And that was
solid.
mainstream television when I was growing up. This is how I've ended up with this one. Bringing it back to Come to Daddy with Reuben Kay, I just wanted to ask you, I don't think we should do another mini show within a show, which is Turn the Tables on Reuben Kay.
Turn the tables on Reuben Kay.
So the table I'm turning on you...
Is a small coffee table?
Yes.
An end table?
Rage.
I think we need a theme song for it. If we do like a Turn the Table...
with Reuben Kay.
There we go. See,
oh no, it's
you've
not.
got
It's
a
on
voice.
Reuben Kay. So
All things are on Reuben Kay.
do it again.
Turn the table
On Reuben Kay.
See? We could get that done.
I'm going to harmonise it now. So in the turning of the...
Rich, the recording engineer who's recording this podcast, I can see him now just trying to sling a noose over the light bulb. Go on.
And we've only been in here 6 minutes.
I know, by the end I'll just see a pair of swinging feet through the
Stop
partition.
it. When you were growing up, did you have any hobbies?
Oh, yeah, drag. I was sort of one of those people that used to hyper-focus a bit. So I used to be very into volcanoes. Loved the Mount St. Helens blast. Huge fan of Pompeii as a child. And then I went into disaster movies. Loved the Titanic. Went through a solid 6-year
The Poseidon
period.
Adventure. I can't watch it now without having a fully fledged panic attack.
There's got to be a morning after. Shelley Winters, Push Me Up the Christmas Tree, Manny.
So wonderful.
So beautiful.
Don't, because
Gene
when
Hackman.
well, spoilers.
Don't.
But she doesn't. Somebody doesn't survive, and every time I cry.
Oh,
The
a lot
film's
of-
50 years old. And
It's very good. Gene Hackman playing a preacher who's still got sort of with the teenager who's in love with him. It's all it's dense. I used to do all that, but I also used to have a dress-up box, and my family was so inherently dramatic that I just used to dress up, but none of the clothes were men's clothes. So I'd be sort of an 8-year-old Tosca throwing myself off the back of the couch, lip-syncing to sort of Maria Callas's Tosca, or be Carmen, and my brother would have to be Don Jose, and he'd have to stab me, and I'd have a bag of ketchup or tomato sauce sort of secreted amongst my frills, and I would burst it dramatically, and my mum would be like, well, now you've got blood on the rug. Could we do this on a wooden floor or outside on the cement? You know, or I used to dress up Barbies. I used to make little outfits for my Barbies.
And were you making up in that? Was this part
No,
of it,
no,
or
no,
was
no.
it was clothes? Yeah, okay.
Mainly
Barefaced,
clothes.
Barefaced.
Barefaced, but I would also sometimes make little outfits for my G.I. Joes, and then I would throw them off high things like they were at the end of Tosca, and there'd be tiny little bags of Ribena, so when they'd land, they'd splatter blood. It was all of this drama, death,
makes
and gore.
A lot of sense now.
Yeah, this sort of blend of opera, horror, and fabulousness, fantasy.
Fab
Don't do it.
horror.
Don't.
Fab opera.
No.
I'm not going to do it. So when did this start? When did the fake? Because you call it barefaced.
Oh yeah,
and
it's just
drag,
barefaced.
or,
Yeah, drag,
or painted
in face or out of face. I think everyone has their own terms for it. I mean, if you saw the picture the first time I ever did it compared to this, you would be terrified, Amanda.
I'm terrified now. I mean, to be fair, the bare face I find more frightening than anything painted.
Yeah, it really doesn't frame it right. You just suddenly become aware there's a lot of skin stretched over teeth, don't you?
Yes. But I think, what beautiful skin? No, I mean, no. Anyway, so that was all well and good, but there's somebody more interesting than me coming to sit in this seat. So I'm going to do that thing where I try and leave and can never get out round the side of any table that we're sitting in. And then you're going to be
That's how we turn the table back on you, as you tried to get out of it.
If only I hadn't turned the table, I might be able to get out. So thank you for your kind attentions, and goodbye.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
I can't look round.
Don't look at me.
I can't look round.
She did that with such grace, listeners. Honestly.
I'm leaving now.
It was like it was choreographed by Georges Balanchine. It's a door, Amanda. You just turn the handle and you push.
She's out.
Yeah, but now you have to shut this door.
Oh, like Larry Grace.
Shut that door! What a callback. Oh, the muck in here. So let's get into it. My guest today is an actor and comedian whose star is definitely on the ascent. In the ascent? Let's move on. For example, she was part of the lineup at the O2 for the Black British Takeover Comedy Night. Not bad for someone whose mum used to insist on a tour of her friends' houses before she was allowed to sleep over. Come to Daddy, Kyrah Gray.
Oh, that is perfect. Hello.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
What a lovely thing to have. Hey, is it true about the sleepovers?
Yeah. That was really bad. That was really embarrassing. My mum, she was a very, very overprotective parent. Right. So she never used to let me sleep over at people's houses. So the one time I literally begged her, she was like, fine, okay, you can go, but I want to see the house.
I want to see the house?
Yeah. So
what was she looking for?
Just if it's clean, if there was anything suspicious, I don't know, weapons, bombs. I have no idea what she was looking for. But literally the day before the sleepover, we went over to the girl's house and her mum gave us a tour of the whole house. What
was like the other mum's reaction, the dynamic in that experience?
I feel like at first it was probably be like, what? But I think she understood.
Yeah, fair.
As a Caribbean mum herself, she was probably like, you know what, I hear it. Like, as inconvenient as this is, I understand that you want to make sure your child is in a safe place, but...
Yeah. Why do you think mum was so protective?
I think because she was a young mum. So my mum had me when she was 20. So I feel like there's nothing that I can get away with anyway because she's already done it or she knows the tricks. But I feel like because she was so young when she had me, it was like, I don't know what it is with firstborns and young parents, but it's like she just wanted to protect me from the world, just shield me.
I think maybe it's because even they don't necessarily have the luxury of age and distance and experience. So all of that, for want of a better word, trauma is very fresh.
Yeah.
They go, oh, all those bad experiences I had, or all those mistakes I've had, they're really close to my experience of motherhood, raising a child. My child is so close to those things.
Yeah.
Oh God, my parents had me quite old. My mum was 40.
I thought that's the best way to do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because they're so old, they can't catch you. They can't run. It's the best.
You can get away with everything, honestly.
Hey, so I just want to get a quick, rundown. Can I just get an idea of what your childhood bedroom was like?
You know, I feel like my childhood bedroom, I know I had cream walls, cream carpet. I know I had posters on the wall of Aston from JLS or N-Dubs or something. Honestly, God. And I had loads of books.
Loads of big reader?
I was a bookworm. I was such a nerd growing up. I want to get back to it. I feel like social media completely ruined my...
Yeah, we no longer have anything close to an attention span.
No. Impossible.
Nah.
But I've been getting better. Actually, I've read 6 books this year.
Do you know what? I think that's better than most of us.
Oh, thank you.
My biggest thing is reading the captions on an Instagram reel. That for me is a novel.
No, but that deserves a round of applause. That is so hard.
Thank
They're
you.
getting longer and longer. Guys, just please.
Do you know what I don't like is the caption ... hashtag. I'm like, don't make me scroll down just for your hashtags.
It's really unnecessary, actually.
I also get frustrated when people make up their own hashtags to be quirky.
Oh, just to go with the video.
Yeah, because I'm like, no. This is a utilitarian thing. It allows me to find the thing. I'm not going to search with things I do like this just because you want to be individual. None of us are individuals. We're all part of the sheeple. We're all just monkeys and we're all going to die. So just do it.
Oh, do you know what? Hey, that's very true. I wanted to be positive today, but there's no point, is there? There's no point.
Find positivity through negativity.
Find the positivity in the... Yeah, there we go.
Tower of K.
This is why I'm on your podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, we do a thing here called the parental questionnaire. It's very quick fire answers. What are the names of your parents?
Sonji, Darren.
Sonji and Darren.
Yep.
Whereabouts do they live?
Croydon.
Croydon. Will they listen to this?
Probably not.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are they involved? Are they
don't-
fans?
My-
Are they
my
Kyrah
mum-
stans?
Yeah, no, they definitely are. But like, I have a bad habit of just not telling my mum when I do things. I just kind of do it, and she's like, "Why didn't you tell me you had this?"
Did your parents come to the... They came to the O2?
Yeah, they came to the O2. That was one that I was like, yeah, nah, yeah. Because I was allowed to bring a certain amount of people as well. So like, yeah, I made sure my mum was there, close family, friends. It was really lovely. That was a really nice day.
That is huge.
No, it was, honestly.
What a glorious thing for your parents to have seen as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've taken it in, like how big it is. I think for me it was a huge accomplishment, and it was like a bucket list moment. But I don't think I took it in as like you're performing in front of 18,000 people. Like, I don't think that's really kind of sunk in that I did it. But I'm really grateful that I got the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. You're quite kind of new in the comedy world. I mean, you only finished uni in 2019.
Yeah.
How have you been enjoying the career so far?
It's been amazing, to be honest, because I started just before lockdown, which is not ideal.
No.
For what we do. But
a very prolonged writing workshop.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it gave me like when we came out of lockdown, I was very much like ready to go.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of.
And did you spend
full
lockdown
steam
with
ahead.
your parents? Did you move in like everyone else?
Yes, I still live at home with my mum. So like lockdown was like our little social bubble, and that was just like it's too many women in one house. Way too many emotions, way too many hormones. It was.
What's
God.
that like? You tell some amazing stories about like a strict Jamaican upbringing in South London.
yeah.
I don't have access to that experience, obviously. What's that like?
To be fair, I feel like I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel like my family are just funny. And yeah, there's been, the discipline was strict and 100%, very unnecessary sometimes. But I do feel like it instilled a lot of morals inside, like in me, and the things that I'm able to say and the jokes that I'm able to tell was all because of kind of what I've been brought up with, like my grandma, my mum.
Because your grandma's living in the same house as well?
No. So my grandma lives in a separate house. And it's because my grandma's house is basically, we all kind of grew up there. It's like we all spent our childhoods in that house. So my grandma had a huge part in bringing me up as well. I practically lived with her and my mum until the age of 5 because she didn't trust my mum to bring me up. She was like, you're not going nowhere with that kid.
Yeah, fair.
Unnecessary.
20-year-old with a kid.
Yeah, but my mum did amazing. But I just think that, once again, my mum is my grandma's youngest child. So it was like her baby had a baby who was also her baby. So it was very much like...
That's complicated. How many other children did your grandma have?
So my grandma has 6 children. And she's one of 19.
Oh my God, your great-grandmother's pelvis.
Genuinely, they didn't have TikTok back then. So, there was not much...
It was a very different type of doom scrolling.
Yeah, exactly. You had to fill up the day with something.
And what were they like as grandparent and parent? What were some of the experiences like?
My grandma spoilt me. Like, I'm her favourite grandchild, as much as the other kids don't want to admit it, but it's very
I love the
embarrassing.
surety with which you said it as well.
I literally have a recording of her because I needed to get it on recording so that eventually I'll just let you lot know. I'm not going to break it to you now, but when you really want to have that discussion, I'll sit everyone down and say, here is the evidence. She was too scared to tell you lot because she knew it would upset you.
Yeah.
It's not even even close.
You bring that out at the will reading.
Yeah.
You go, if I want this house, why? Because here's the proof. Here's the receipts, bitch.
I'm the only one she loved. So, honestly, guys, just give it up. But yeah, my grandma's, honestly, she is the most important person in my life. But I feel like I definitely got spoilt by her. I was quite chubby growing up, and it's because she used to just feed me. It didn't stop. It didn't. I used to wake up at like 7 a.m. to trays full of like fried dumpling, plantain, eggs, beans, sausage. Like, she would literally just feed me.
What was her growing up like? Was she in a scarcity mindset?
I feel like my grandma... I feel like it was really different because obviously she came to England when she was 18. So she was born in Jamaica. And being one of 19 kids, obviously, is not the most ideal situation.
And maybe it's the thing that she didn't have growing up was the thing that she expressed love through, like food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my grandma, same thing.
Yeah, and I think just that attention and care. So when I was growing up, she always made sure that I knew she was thinking about me. So like I would never leave her house without something, whether that was money, food, just a perfume that someone had given her that she just gave to me. She got in trouble so many times because gifts that people give to her, she just gives to me.
Re-gift through. It's more like a smuggling train.
Yeah, she's just like, no, don't show uncle. I'm sorry.
There's a great sort of secret code between grandparents and grandkids.
Yeah.
It's like, don't tell your father.
Yeah.
Don't tell your father. And then they're just like sliding things in. Chocolates all the time. My grandmother's fridge was filled with chocolate ice cream. Chocolates. Wasn't allowed chocolate. Hyperactive kid.
Oh, but
Not allowed. My grandmother was
grandma's
like...
house?
Well, she would wear a see-through caftan and nappy and all of her jewellery and bang pot lids to old Russian folk songs while shoving chocolate yogurt down her throat.
Oh, my gosh.
Crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
One of your Insta posters made me howl, and it's when you got back from Edinburgh and went to see your nan in the nursing home. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So my nan, not in a nursing home, she'll actually lose it if she hears that, but my nan, this is my dad's mum. So she's a bit younger than my mum's mum. So when I got back from Edinburgh, I went to go and see her because I was like, hey, I've been away for a month. Let me go and see my family one stop at a time. And whilst I was in Edinburgh, I was exercising a lot. Because there's not much else to do when you're not performing. I was climbing the mountain. What's it called?
Arthur's Seat.
My God.
It's a rough climb.
At first I was like, exciting. Halfway, I said, there's so much more to go.
And I got lost on the way down and found myself walking through like the brambly, thickety part.
Yes.
And the bottom of my legs was a bloodbath.
No.
It was so, and I had to do the rest of the run, which I'm like sweating. I'm in heavy costumes with just like that sting of the sweat running down your legs into these things.
Gosh.
It's a rough climb, and you go with the best intentions of I'm going to do this every day, and I'm like, no,
absolutely not. Like that's what I told myself. I'm going to do this once a week. That one time I did it, I said, yeah, I can tick it off the bucket list. I'm not doing that again. But yeah, I got a gym membership at the Pleasance Gym, Sports and Leisure. I said, yeah, this is great. So I've gone to see my nan and I'm saying, like, can you see the gains? Like, can you see, notice anything about me? Just feel like and she was like, Me no know where you get that flat body there. And I was just like, I was in shock and absolute dismay. And I asked her, like, I was like, why did you have to use those specific words? And then she carried on. She could have stopped at the because I got the message the first time. And then she was like, no, it must be the throwback jeans from slavery. And it's not a lot that I'm speechless, but in that moment, I had nothing else to say. I sat there in silence. And then she was like, oh, you're mad at me, you're angry. And I said, Nan, leave me alone. I need some time to really take in what's just been said.
How fast was the realization from that moment to go through like anger, shame, denial, and bargaining, acceptance to this needs to be in the act?
It was immediate. I think it was it was like 30 seconds of, wow, very disrespectful. I'm actually quite angry. How much does it cost to leave someone in a nursing home? I can't do that. That's my nan. Love her dearly. And then it just got to, that'll make it in the hour. That's fine. Just put it in the hour. Just put it in the book. Everything that happens to me, I'm like, it's going in the book. It's
absolutely,
fine.
it does.
Literally.
How did your nan and mum know they're in the act? Your mum does. Does your gran?
My grandma, I tell her all the time because a lot of my funniest jokes are the jokes that I love telling the most are the ones about my grandma. The ones about my mum she loves because she can just you'll hear her laugh just echoing through whatever venue. I'm pretty sure I heard it in O2. I have no idea. But they do love it. They love it. They might argue at first, but as long as I don't say names, everyone's fine.
Yeah, protect the innocent.
Yeah.
I've given my mum an accent and she keeps on going, it'd be funnier if it wasn't, and it's not. It's funnier with the accent.
It's funnier. It's always funnier with the accent.
Hey, look, we're almost at the end of this. This has been delicious, but we have one more delicious treat, and it's called the Pick and Mix. Pick and mix, pick and mix. It's time for us to do Pick and Mix. And it's where you get to stick your hand in or manipulate the claw to dip into the lucky dip of your family experience.
Daddy, look, I'm doing a dive.
You have chosen, Daddy, look, I'm doing a dive. What's a way you've tried to get your parents' attention?
When I was younger, I used to get my mum and my stepdad in a room and perform a song of my choosing.
Right, original or cover?
It was a cover. I think there was one time I actually wrote a song and I could see that they were both holding back their laughs, so I never did that again.
What age are we talking?
This was honestly between like I'd say between 8 and maybe 14.
Yeah.
Those
and
are my...
It gets embarrassing when it gets into teens.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I did it, I dressed up in a black leotard and made myself a cat mask and I performed McCavity from Cats. And I remember being like, Reuben, you're 13. You need to stop this
You
right
have
now.
that moment where you're like, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, man, this is... if you don't get a job, like, it was just...
Yeah, the minute
Yeah.
the sex drive kicks in, that's
Yeah.
when you should stop doing shows for your parents.
Yeah, it's pretty... It's
They're
out with the old
concomitant-
into the
they're-
new, actually, yeah. Oh, gosh.
So what was like your favourite song you perform?
Alicia Keys, No One, and Jessie J, Price Tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jessie J, the white person's Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Right.
Would you be lip syncing to them or singing out
No,
loud?
I'd be singing like, "Ain't about the price tag, ain't about the..." Like I was really trying
Into
to.
it.
Yeah, I was trying to get my groove on. It was.
Do you sing?
I can carry a tune. I used to sing, but do you know what it is? When I'm not like amazing at something, I just don't do it. So because I can sing, but I'm not like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just like, no, I don't sing.
Family hellholes.
Got any recollections of family vacations?
Tell us about a family holiday.
So when I was 5, my mum took me to Disneyland with her friend and her daughter, and it was really like cute. It was really lovely. And basically, 2 things happened on that holiday. The first thing was that when Goofy came out with my cake to sing happy birthday to me, all the characters were like around, but the person that was dressed up as Goofy, he banged the table, so the candle like tilted towards me, and I just started crying, and my mum lost it. Goofy nearly got slapped up that day. Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse took a new turn that day. I couldn't watch it the same. I was looking at it, it was disgust. My mum nearly slapped you up. I could never have respect for Mickey Mouse anymore. So that was just quite a chaotic time. And in that same holiday, we were meant to get into the elevator, but for some reason I went on and no one else came behind me, and I didn't realise that no one else was walking on with me. So I went in and the doors closed, and my mum was just...
No, hard pass.
I was just in tears, and it went to like the top floor, and there was this old man like, "Are you all right, dear?" And I was like, no. I just kept pressing the button, and luckily it went to like the floor that my mum was on, and she was so overwhelmed with emotion. She hugged me, she strangled me, she grabbed me, she like shook me. She was
especially because she was like a protective parent anyway, to have lost a child
at the age of 5 in Disneyland. She was
every
losing
parent's
it,
nightmare.
honestly. But as a child, I was like, why are you... Just hug me and say, thank God you're here. All the other stuff felt very unnecessary. But as an adult now, I understand. There was a lot of emotion, but that was probably just the most chaotic.
Do you think if you were to have a child, if the world doesn't end, of course, you would also kind of have to resist the urge to be that protective, or do you think you'd just go straight into it?
I think I would be protective, but I think I would hold back a little bit. Just because I think my mum was very lucky that I was a well-behaved child. Like, in general, without her being overprotective, I'm just a good child. If I wanted to smoke crack, I could have. Do you know what I mean? I just didn't.
We all had access
You
to
know?
it.
I feel like it's possible. And had I been that type of person, I think the overprotectiveness would have made me more sneaky. So I feel like it can work out in your favour, and sometimes it can't. So I feel like I wouldn't want to take that chance on my child. So I'd be protective, but I want to make sure that my child wouldn't want to hide things, or like, you know, there's just that open communication.
Do you and your
there.
mum talk about that now, or how she raised you as a parent? Have you done like a peer review?
We've had conversations, but I feel like, with most parents, they forget things that happened as like when you were a child. So you'll be like, "No, you did this," and they'll be like, "What? What are you? Hey, what are you talking about? I don't. No, I did not." And I'm just like, there was actually 5 witnesses. Pretty sure there's a couple mission statements here actually that you absolutely did.
I've been saving recordings ever since Gran said I was her favourite. I've been saving recordings, bitch.
No, genuinely, because my mum's done so many funny things. Like, there was a time where she pretended to collapse, just to see if I knew what to do in that situation.
Like the TikTok trend of people collapsing to see if their dogs will help them, and most of their dogs just start eating them.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I started crying first because it was
how old?
I was like 6. A lot happened. It was just unnecessary, honestly. I was so young. But I just remember these things. Like, it was such a dramatic fall, like out of nowhere. And I was like, what the? It took me a second. I feel like I kicked her just to make sure. I was like, oh, mummy, haha. Joking, haha. And she really sold it. Her eyes were rolling back. Her tongue was like hanging out of her mouth. And I was just like, called 999. And as it was ringing, she went, ah! And I said, you're a sick woman.
That is unhinged.
You're a sick woman. But at least I knew what to do in that scenario. And she knows now that if God forbid anything does happen, I know what to do. But I was just like, of all the ways.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
There's a reason I'm like this. There's a reason I'm like this. Okay. Like, honestly, it didn't come out of nowhere.
That, you got one last challenge here at Come to Daddy, and we call it Shall I Be Mother?
Oh.
Shall I be mother?
This is where you get to stare into my eyes and imagine that I am your mother.
Okay.
What would you say to her now?
I will have children when I'm ready.
Is she pressuring you?
Because she's pressuring me, but it's like I wasn't allowed a boyfriend up until the age of like 21. So it's just like, you can't now rush me to have kids. Give me my time. Had I been searching from the age of 16, maybe there'd be one out popped out right now. But you put that pressure on me, so you need to wait. Mid-30s, that's when you can start pressuring me. Give me some time.
Yeah, at least let the clock start counting down before you tell me to run the race.
Let biology tell me.
Yeah.
Before you tell me. I'm getting there. Thank you.
And also, the way the world's working now, you can have a kid at 50.
Exactly. I just need to freeze them.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it works.
Get on the hormones.
Yeah.
Have a kid at 60.
I'd want to run after them.
Trust me, you don't.
No, I'd probably hire someone to run after them.
They raise themselves.
They do. I thought the first 10 years, it's the only time you really need to be present.
It's like a souffle. You just leave the oven door open a little bit. And then it doesn't fall.
Yeah, just as long as they don't harm themselves. I feel like you're doing a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thank you for coming to Daddy today.
Thank you for having me.
Where can our listeners, our watchers, find you?
So on TikTok and Instagram mainly at It's Kyrah Gray. And I've got a show coming up in February. It's a Kyrah Gray and Friends show. So if you're in Croydon, Fairfield Halls,
great.
Feel free. Thank you.
And what a pleasure. Thank you for coming to Daddy.
Oh, thank you.
That's Kyrah Gray. This has Come to Daddy. That's an episode. Like, follow, subscribe, donate, listen to it again.